be with you till we meet her again. May His love be with you until we meet her again. Till we walk those streets of gold, well, we never will grow old. And find words from a weary soul until we meet her again. When we get over there, we're gonna meet her again. May His love be with you till we meet again. May His love be with you till we meet again. Till we walk the streets of gold, where we never will grow. I'm gonna find rest for my soul till we meet again. Till we meet again. Till we meet again. May His love be with you till we meet. Thank you. Again. May His love be with you. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Till we meet again. Till we walk those streets of gold. Till we walk those streets of gold. Where we never will go on. Where we never will grow. I'll find rest. I'll find rest for my soul till we meet again. Till we meet. Till we meet again. Till we meet again. Till we meet. For my mother, for those that have gone on, for our friends, for our family, for our relatives, for our friends that we've met, people like David Ellis, Rufus Williams, Philip Stewart. We give this to you, Gerald, for people like your father that have lived in this life, but they've gone on till we reach that distant shore and we shed a tear no more. May he give you strength to endure till we meet. I don't know when and I don't know where, but I do know that someday, Mama Deb, there's going to come a place that he said that he's going to wipe.
A symbol that truth and justice reign. Without stay, O God of all creation, grant this our and this we count as gain to hand unto our children without stay. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Unibadam,
of Science, University of Ibadan. We are the leading faculty with wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Encouraging research is a focus for questions, not answers, create knowledge. Oh, scientists, be affirmative, be not race, was the power beyond, we'll see your through super heights and
the partners of this the University of the Market. And so the University of Texas is a very good and it's very represented by the major companies, the best of the support is doing. The aspect of the professional decision of the United States is the strategy is the extra the next you want to invite also to the actual university or the public scholarship. They are three in number because the public is the representing the family of late Professor SHITTU. Excellent. So that as the first God, we are going to listen. We have to talk to the we don't want to be but Professor completing next motion.
Good morning. It is establishment. God has another voice of the television. The first person is not. The word is again, also science. Not the so they have a lot of statistics. And that's something called money. So, yes, it's good. These ones really. The boards of science and the but certificates are coming. There's another one which guys, yeah, whereas certificates are those students, minerals and seeds. That the creation in the process. Small. Small of the process is small. ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome us to this colloquium, which is the first time after the coronavirus of our colleague, our friends, our brother was small, SHITTU. The first question of the question is why yes. We are here this morning not we are here this morning not with not tomorrow. There is no position. We are here this morning inside for the landless hands by also proceed to relevance representatives to the students, the so some of us seven, I read the governments. So some of us new governments. Well, there's the levels of the student governments that people know that there was movement. Sometimes I was kind of listening. There was a process for kind of life, so that was it new as well, centrally, one evolution. Yes. We were now and yes, ourselves. That's all say that looking at this although to remember the city is to keep the flag or this flag. Yes, you want to know about the people. You want to know about the world. You want to know about the kind of life, strength, this, God, so, yeah, well, let's talk about this. I'm not listening to this. welcome all containers.
who's been from good and others not especially the priest shall come down the windows.
This is one my preference for us. The university about really but I really about really marriage. There is something like just I don't who is really upset in accept that and accept the of science. So which is also straight out of I will come here on behalf of those who the and the president of the as director of the plan was about 4 ampere plus the friend of the Department of Statistics was so currently, I'm going to be the opening remarks by the president. Every aspect of this law and the president of the Professional Statistician Association of Nigeria, I would like to introduce because who is entirely very wrong or which are to seek or stand. But without leaving out some important things because the ESCO members of the Professional Statistical Association of Statisticians Association of Nigeria seated the head of the Department of Statistics, Nigeria, Professor Ola. My wife was becoming into the expectation of Christ. The never the chairman council committee security, Professor S. Our very dear friends
Father, Dr. Gani, when we talk about anybody in the University of attends every ceremony, and God is going to do it. So, I'm not really surprised to see you together. I can't say. And you're welcome to that. And English professor, the Faculty of Science, Department of Statistics, and other departments get English colleagues in the university. The family of my big brother, friend, and colleague, Professor SHITTU. Friends of university, especially the students of the Department of Statistics, all are very also recognize everyone who is members of the press. The ECD has happened to thank this personal body for the honor that is being bestowed on a late brother, friend, and colleague, Professor on this very day. The president of PSSN has said that they are not come here to move, never. They have come here to celebrate his achievements in the academia and the profession. Great is that to celebrate what is before while it was physically hard. As happened to assure the association of support always trying to move the society forward. As also asking to lead this good way the Department of Statistics to its head, Professor Oshimole, who staff and students, and to assure us that he, as the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University, always supports whether African or otherwise. According to the Vice Chancellor, Professor SHITTU is actually was a philosopher in his time. He served in the university to the place of disability at different levels of the university. The department that served as head, served as previous committees in the faculty, one of which I know is the committee that built the second building behind this office. It's nice to be of that committee. Then there are several staff that any connection with the house. As those are interiors of the organs. So in very least, I assure us, I mean,
Because we always bring in our hearts. Never ways to bring us to lead on this planet Earth. The part of science was to directly accumulate the selfless conclusions of research to develop various and progress of the development of science in service to humanity, in service to the advancement of this power. I know you want to buy the history of science without mentioning the solution. That God is best. And it's clear because it's good. Well, it's not like that. Was very limited. We work together with hands. Us equally, a good friend, a brother. I can say without losing words that Pastor Shittu was a perfect gentleman. He was always ready to offer help to anyone in his church. And I remember when I was beginning of mine, he was one of those pillars that I relied on in the administration of the Bible. I never received a credit. I was one time I called the on service for one assignment for the other as I never rejected. Yes. Do whatever was doing with him. Not a problem. All strength. God rest his soul. Once again, I want to thank the organizers of this event. Personally, when I saw the representative, I saw that others, we could not be together with the Irish. Very, very hard. Yes, please, so, which has there to follow this. It does not be there. I want to thank the association of society again for this. We are not very. I pray that God will going to lead you guys. According to make our plans with their knowledge, personality, expertise. We are always grateful for our big brother, God, to be able to so. So we have the topics, statistics, the and I have to reach the Department of Statistics. When I started the friends to the department, none of them were that. I thank you for this honor. I'm going to give another discussion today. We continue to cover the area of the department of the God will continue to advance His glory and honor in our lives. On this note, I say thank you and God bless us.
That's one of the that's one is we have. That's not the individual of the one which it talks about the level of resources that we have to be able to successfully achieve whatever we expect out. I get to village. One is like start before they are something to the if I go to president, we did for which that's the same way that's the same way they can so important. I'm telling you, she's very good. Every time it's not surviving. The ending of the back. It's not yeah. On the graves of the all the time, you are very you can't just not even do that. Not that sense. And then if you are can start seeing me for this if you are brother, you go to worship. All to their of which are person the fact that the science was to destroy the of life that is on the big science yes and over in ensure is if you want your decisions more informed what they have and later from the statistical and applications again, sorry, my The judges are talking and we are good at setting goals. When we don't like things that are formulated and will never get implemented. The need to ensure that policies are completed or to the policy are event hospital election. One election that is everything that is right. So that's one level. Next, in which time, where the or anything like that. And one of the questions will next time will why people are being only information. 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 What we are supposed to release or so It's to do with God of citizen. Where what what and you use proceeding my structural proceeding. You design yourself, you develop teams, you connect with the okay? You do this contract checklist. And for this, of the organization of the marketplace. We design the right to design is one of the issues. But you will not be able to know the area and the overall activity. So, when we start, we have an opportunity combination of minds. Where is some kind of confrontation to elimination kindness. Which area else about? And different types of contributions. And what's happening, in the design. The design is provided the same. In the This right because you have we use it very well,
Dr. Adepoju, please, you are clear to speak. Professor Adepoju, you are clear to speak.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me clearly, right? Hello,
Yes, we can hear
okay,
you. We can hear you.
okay, thank you so much. I um actually I'm super excited to be part of this gathering today, honoring my boss, the late Professor Shittu. Um, First and foremost, I'm actually want to, my greeting will go to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. I also want to greet the esteemed Dean of Science. I also want to extend my greetings to the Head of Department of Statistics, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. The President of the fpssn, Professor Yaya, and I also want to use this moment to greet my co-supervisor, my mentor and former co-supervisor, Professor Angela Shuku. I also want to greet academic senior professors at the Department of Statistics, University of Ibadan, that actually planted and nurtured my statistical seed. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are hearing me clearly, I just want to say Professor Shittu was actually more than a mentor to me. I'm going to say he was a guiding light, a source of inspiration and a pillar of support, during my academic pursuit while at the Department of Statistics, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. I'm also going to say this, Professor Shittu and Professor Angela Shuku actually co-supervised my PhD work. They did a very great job in doing that, and I really appreciate them. Professor Shittu, like I said, is contribution to statistical method cannot be overemphasized. I actually find this very, very interesting about his academic rigor boundless curiosity, and unwavering commitment to the pursuit of knowledge, I'm actually going to say that has really set what I'm going to call a benchmark for every one of us. So let me say this. I actually going to say authoritatively that the erudite professor has really contributed immensely to advancing statistical methodology and bridging a gap, between theoretical foundation and, apply statistics in general. I remember an incident around 2014. Professor Shittu actually called me to his office. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm actually going to be emotional. He called me to his office in 2014 and he was holding a paper in his hand. And I remember he said in Yoruba, he said, Kazim, wala ti de o. And I responded, I said, what happened? So my guy was actually holding an article, and that article titled Data Modeling versus Algorithmic Modeling. We both read the paper and we actually have the understanding that what the paper was trying to talk about is that why the world we need to consider what they call algorithmic modeling compared to data modeling. Uh, Professor Shittu and I understood that, we got some work to do in statistical, addressing some challenges and limitation in with traditional statistical techniques, because we all know that struggle in big data era. So as at that time we actually had an agreement that okay, much needed to be done, and I remember I said to him in the future the two philosophical faith we actually converge. So Professor Shittu was somebody who actually was deeply concerned and had a lot of passion, for the field of statistics, and not only that, he was keenly interested in its future, and he was ready to do anything to make sure that statistics continue to become relevant in modern day world. So before I continue, I still want to confirm again if everyone is still hearing me clearly. Is everyone still hearing me clearly?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. So because of the conversation we had in his office in around 2014 that centered on algorithmic and data modeling, because of that, I'm actually going to make today's presentation to center around that, and of course to also inform the world where we are at the moment. Okay, because of that, I'm actually want to present a title, called a balancing interpretability, okay, and predictive power, and we actually going to explore the tensions between statistical modeling and machine learning algorithm. Okay, so let me first say this. So what I actually want to pass across is to just to tell the world where we are right now. We know to make a distinction between explaining and predicting. The two are not the same, and what we can do in a modern day world, where we can actually translate our explanatory goal into predictive goal. Okay, so because of that, in the outline, I'll first briefly discuss why we model, I'm also going to talk about to explain or to predict. Then I'm going to talk about some tensions that we have identified, distinguishing between explaining or predicting. I'm also going to talk about balancing interpretability and predictive power. Okay, I'm going to get started. Okay, why do we model? Okay, this is a question. Why do we model? Um, you know, I'm going to say this. We find ourselves in a world where different things happens in different days. Do you want to talk about in economy? Do you want to talk about in our social life? Do you want to talk about, um, happiness in general? We live in a multi-state environment where different things happen in different days. And you know what, as human beings, the existence of reality, the existence of physical structure is independent of human knowledge. I'm actually going to say that again. The existence of physical world, the existence of reality is actually independent of human knowledge. And you know what? As human beings, we actually want to understand our environment. We want to understand our political environment. We want to understand our medical environment. We want to understand our sociological environment and what do we need to do. Before we can understand and secure our environment, of course, we need knowledge. Okay, we need knowledge. Okay, where will the knowledge come from? The knowledge is going to come from information we got. Where will the information come from? Information is going to come from data. Okay, information is going to come from data, which means data need to be collected. And if we collect our data, the information we're seeking for is not readily available. Something needs to be done to the data. Statistically speaking, we learn from data, and we can learn from data in two ways. Whether you want to use statistical model to learn from data, or you actually want to use machine learning algorithm where you want to take advantage of advancement in technology to also learn from data. And that is the reason why the American Statistical Association actually define statistics as the art and science of learning from data. So one way or the other, we're going to learn from data. Now, if I want to learn from data, whether a statistician want to learn from data, whether a machine learning expert want to learn from data, we're actually going to use model. We're going to use model to learn from data. And that is why we actually call model is a statistical or mathematical representation of reality. I'm going to say that again. The model is a mathematical representation of reality. We actually use model to depict reality. And you know what Judge Boss said, and I quote, there's always going to be a gap because we don't expect a model to give us exact characterization of reality. There's always going to be a gap. We acknowledge that in statistics. We also acknowledge that in machine learning world. And that's why in statistics, you're actually going to hear about minimizing sum of square error. In machine learning world, you're actually going to hear about minimizing loss function. Now, the reason why they talk about minimizing loss function and minimizing sum of square error is an acknowledgement that there's always going to be a gap between model and reality. And that very gap is what we call the error. We acknowledge that. We're trying to minimize that. No matter what we do, it's never going to be zero. So I think I just gave reason why we model in general. Now, when we model in general, whether we actually use statistical model or we use machine learning algorithm, I think I want to say this. Is our intention may be to explain or to predict. And I'm going to say this frankly, there's a clear distinction between explaining and predicting. Okay, when you have a model that do the job of explanation, that particular model may not be able to do the work of prediction effectively. When you have a model that do the job of prediction, that particular model cannot also do the job of explanation effectively. And that was the reason I'm actually going to say this initially, or people in the scientific community, or they don't really, realize there's a difference exists between explaining or predicting, because a statistician and an economist is actually going to argue this to say, you know what, the moment if my model can explain, my model can also predict. I'm actually going to say, no, okay? And I'm actually going to start by, citing literature, that guide the philosophy of science about this. Okay, now going to the literature, the whole thing starts with Eppen and Oppem, 1948. The Oppem and, Ampere and Oppem, 1948, without any empirical evidence, actually suggested that explanation and prediction have the same logical structure. That was what he said in 1948, without any empirical evidence. But you know what? In 1959, it became clear when Eman and Rachel said, the variation around explanation is actually different from variation around prediction. The two are not the same. If you are explaining, he noted, if you are explaining, okay, you actually you're pursuing an explanatory goal where you test causal hypothesis, and at the end of the day, the variation that you actually see in that is going to be different from when you are making prediction. Now, debate upon debate about the philosophy of science about this. In 1969, somebody said, theories of social and human behavior address themselves to two distinct goals of science. I'm actually going to say this. It took, very smart people of scientific community several years to realize there's a clear distinction, between explanation and prediction. The two are not the same. The two are not the same. Now, and let me now tell you this. This distinction concept has been further elaborated. If you read Foster and Sober 1994, or Foster 2002, Galit and so on like that, all of that, they've already, acknowledge that distinction exists between when I want to explain and when I want to predict. Before moving forward, I also want to confirm again, if everyone is still hearing me clearly. Is everyone still hearing me clearly? Is everyone still hearing me clearly?
Yes, we are with you. We are with you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, now, but let me say, I'm actually going to say this. Initially, it was thought that prediction was not scientific, because initially people in the scientific community believe in explanation. They believe in trying to understand and explain the world. They believe that prediction is unscientific. That was the thought initially. And you know what? And that was why my friend said in 2001, my friend said, some statisticians share this view. The two goals in analyzing data, he said, I prefer to describe management and science. And he said, management seek profit, science seek the truth. I'm actually going to elaborate on this. Well, in scientific community, our theory that we build, of course, we reveal the truth about reality, because we are actually explaining the world. We're trying to understand the world. Our theory actually support that. Okay, now the management seek profit, and somebody asks, why do you say management? What do you mean by management? What do you mean by science? And the person said, management is about prediction, while science is about explanation. And that's why you see the model deal in an advanced world like United States, Canada, and the like, being an industrialized world, they seek profit, they seek all of that. But management seeks to see the truth. I mean, the management seeks the profit, while science seeks the truth. Okay, now, When you are actually now this to give a differentiation, between the explanatory model and the predictive model. Okay, the two are not the same. Now the question now, why is it that the two are different? Why is it that explanatory modeling are used generally by statisticians? All our models in statistics are explanatory modeling models. Why the machine learning algorithm are predictive models? Even though at times we make an attempt to use explanatory model to do the job of predictive model, it's actually going to suffer, you're not going to have a huge predictive power. Now, why is it that the two are different? Why is it that explanatory goal is different from predictive goal? Because the two of them have a different way of generalization. In statistics, where we seek an explanatory goal, when we take a sample, our generalization will be on the entire population. But when you're actually using a predictive model, where you seek a predictive goal, you don't generalize over the entire population. You are generalizing on new individual, the new individual that was not part of the population that you sample from. And that is the reason why the generalization is not going to be the same for both explanatory and predictive model. Okay, now I want to quickly talk about the tensions in explaining or predicting. Now I'm going to start with the theory versus data. Let me say this. A statistician, a mathematician, an economist, everybody in the scientific community, we are heavy on theory, which is fine, fantastic. Well, when to test cause I heard about the theory, we only use data as a spice, as a supplement. But in the machine learning world, they are heavy on data. And that's why you're going to hear data, this data, big data. But they use theory in a less formal way than causation and association. Now, when you take a look at causation and association is about, when you're making prediction, when you try to use your correlation, but you know what? Do you know that we use that association? Association does not imply causation. The fact that a particular state has a high tax, maybe a high rate of tax, that does, and maybe we observe that leads to, increase in price of gas. That doesn't mean state tax actually causes the event of the oil or gas price. That doesn't mean, that's not what we mean. Now, retrospective and prospective, explanatory, when you are pursuing an explanatory goal, is looking backward. And that's why in scientific community, we're able to explain the truth, because we're looking backward to be able to understand what has happened, and we'll be able to explain the world with that. And that's why whatever function, the target function we formulate, we're going to test our hypothesis based on that. Then why predictive, on the other hand, when you're trying to use predictive model, is forward-looking. There's nothing like backward-looking when it comes to prediction. It's forward-looking, and that's why it's going to be prospective. Then in the tension between individual and average. When you are using an explanatory goal, just like the one we use in statistics, the emphasis is on average. That's why you hear average effect, average vaccine effect, average this, average that. But in the machine learning world, the focus is actually on individual level. We make prediction at individual level. Imagine what is going to be gainful to the scientific world. Can we also explain at individual level and also make a prediction at average level? If we're able to do that, then that will be gainful to the scientific community. Then bias and tension. In statistics, when you apply explanatory model, we only minimize bias. The bias is the worst enemy of everyone in scientific community. But you know what? When we make an attempt to reduce bias, we create another problem of high variance. And that is the reason why at times our models will be over-parameterized, and that is going to lead to overfitting. And when you have overfitting, your model is only going to do a great job on the training data and going to do perform poorly on the test data. And that's not good at all. But in the machine learning world, they're trying to minimize both bias and variance. But when they minimize both bias and variance at the same time, they actually going to, sacrifice that for the truth. While statistician minimizing bias will sacrifice the predictive performance. You can see the two community, they are sacrificing one thing or the other. And that is the reason why they need to come together, why they can coexist. Now, what can we do? Balancing interpretability and predictive power. What we're going to do, I've made some suggestions, but because of my time, I'm quickly going to say this. There's a way. We need both statistical knowledge and machine learning algorithm. What we need to begin to do in the modern day world is there a way? Because when you are the explanatory model that we use in statistics are highly interpretable. They're the machine, but they actually lack predictive performance. I'm actually going to say that anywhere in the world. But the machine learning algorithm, on the other hand, are not interpretable, but they have a predictive ability. Is there a way we can actually combine the two approach where we will be able to translate an explanatory goal into predictive goal? And one of the things we can think about has already started. We can start simple and build complexity gradually. And because of that, I'm actually quickly going to go into a stack GAC model. My late professor actually advanced research in stack GAC model for those in time series analysis. I'm actually going to use this example right now. In the United States, following the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, of course, United States and European Union actually banned, Russia oil. Banned Russia oil, and because of that, that actually triggered inflation in the world, including United States. And of course, in August 16, 2022, the United States Congress actually passed what I call Inflation Reduction Act. The Inflation Reduction Act was actually, to reduce inflation, to reduce the price of prescription drug, to also reduce what I call the budget government deficit, and not only that, to invest in local energy production in the United States while promoting clean energy. Now, if we want to measure the effect of inflation, of course, we actually, if I want to go by statistical explanatory model, we're going to use what we call a smooth transition autoregressive conditioning heteroscedastic model. Okay, now when you take a look at equation 2.1, that's a mean equation where YT, I want to measure the inflation at time T. And of course, because of the varying volatility, okay, we need a variance equation as well. And this idea came from Boleslav and Eagle 1982 and 1986, where we are able to have a way to, measure conditional mean of the price and the conditional, the time varying volatility. And not only that, because there's going to be a kind of different regime, because that particular, policy will be impacted by what is going on around the world. Because when you talk about inflation, there's a lot of key external factors that could affect inflation in the United States. You want to talk about the energy price. You want to talk about, the war in the Middle East, where the Houthis rebel attack oil, the oil ship. And of course, that will actually going to affect the price. And because of that, the incorporated star, which we call smooth transition autoregressive into the GAC model, which is going to be equation, which is equation 2.6. When you look at equation 2.6 using the traditional approach, that smooth transition that was used only consider two regimes. Okay, only consider switching from this regime to this regime, and that is not dynamic enough. Okay, and I know the transition function use has been either exponential transition function or the logistic transition function. But let me tell you this, we can actually incorporate the idea of machine learning algorithm into this, where number one, if we want to retain statistical property of a GAC model, the only thing we can do, instead of incorporating star, which is not dynamic, which may not reflect the current reality in terms of non-linearity, then we can actually incorporate machine learning algorithm where we're going to use our GAG, to estimate. We're going to start with GAG. When you start with GAG, you're actually going to retain the statistical properties of GAG when you want to talk about the optimality, when you want to talk about the consistency of the parameters, when you want to talk about the ergodicity, when you want to talk about the stationarity, when you want to talk about some other properties, beautiful statistical properties can be retained. So what you're going to do, we're going to use GAG on the data first, and the residual from the GAG, we can use the machine learning algorithm, whether neural network or whether, what is it called, the graded boosting and so on, to model the non-linearity of the residual. And you know what? That is a better way to model in this model day world, particularly where we want to model non-linear time series, where we actually want the regime shifting not to be back and front, where we're actually going to have multiple, regime switching. This has already been done. If you look at the work of, IM and 2018, where he actually consider an hybrid model integrating the long short-term memory of a machine learning algorithm into GAC architecture. And in 2020, a GAC model with artificial neural network actually performed so great. In 2023, look at what Bahare did with on hybrid deep learning and GAC family, where you combine that together. We have on any list on this. If you take a look at even in 2024, where we go from GAC to neural network. Now, I'm actually going to say this. I am Professor Galen Jones of the University of Minnesota. We just submitted an article where we also incorporated Gaussian mixture model-based clustering in machine learning into GAC framework. Because, when you talk about Gaussian mixture model or clustering, where you actually believe, did they cluster this time around will represent the numbers of regimes? We're actually going to have multiple regimes. This will actually undo adequately what the star GAC will not be able to undo. This is not a matter of methodological dispute, but it's just to wake up to current reality. I am a statistician, and I'm also I'm also a machine learning expert. So we need a combination of the two. The two can coexist. And that is why in the School of Statistics, University of Minnesota here, actually, we have a Department of Statistics that coexists with the Data Science Department. Now, at this junction, I'm going to say, I got an announcement to make. And you know what? Because Professor Shittu really contributed a lot, even though there was a time we were together. Initially, I thought that what was going on here is like hell. Because at times we could have some argument, there's no problem. And my guy was highly passionate. Whenever he realized that he pushed you to the boundary, he's just going to call you. There was a time he was just shedding tears in his office. I said to me, say, Kazim, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's somebody who actually passionate. What? At times I ask myself, that we are statisticians, we manipulate data. Well, unfortunately, one day we're gonna get manipulated by debt. Some of my children, at times they come to me and they ask me a question. I'm gonna say, Dad, you are a professor of statistics. Why can't you guys meet? Is there a way you guys can prevent occurrence of debt? I said, daughter, you know what happened? This is statistical. That because it's part of life. Or what you just need to do is, I know We got some natural death, we got some self-afflicted one. And I said, what I need you to do in this kind of society, make sure you obey others, obey constituted authority, and you're actually going to stay longer on earth. But the natural death, that it cannot be prevented, so you just need to continue to do good. I'm actually going to say this. Professor Shittu was actually passionate about mankind, even though when you work with him, you're going to think it's just pushing you, but it was actually pushing you for you to realize your full potential. And before I go, I'm sorry that I have to be emotional. Before I go, I'm announcing a sum of 50,000 naira to be contributed towards the endowment fund of because in the honor of Professor Shittu, because I actually want his name to be recognized, in every convocation, and that is what I can do for now. And we are, of course, in the future, we're actually going to do more at this junction. I want to thank everyone for this opportunity. Okay, thanks for listening. That's all what I got.
David Ellis, Rufus Williams, Philip Stewart. We give this to you, Gerald, for people like your father that have lived in this life. They've gone on till we reach that distant shore and we shed a tear no more. May he give you strength to endure till we meet. I don't know when, but I do know that someday, Mama Deb, there's going to come a place that he said that he's going to wipe. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go.
If I had a chance to share the faith, when I came to the hospital world, with essentially ways, yes, in my heart, it said, and God, how only The first day was achieving at federal office certificate ministry to another 1934. He was he was a factor in the show of the life she for my academic commission that she was not only a mentor of the Ila strength throughout the practice. Obviously, it's actually impact. I think our academic contribution we have many times addressed combination of the elements. You know that it is shape like parts. And I will have to discuss many things. No, it has been informed in writing, whatever, and found that we can keep also and also the show and we can offer for the challenge. Still, is a research because through the aspect like the book, people inspired and academically we still in all of us. People are academically you will be very passionate and you believe in me and his relentless passion, excellence in all that we teach. Let me because your legacy will never be forgotten. Thank you. Your time. If you want to continue to pay value for all that are going to us, because He is God, because He is Spirit, and granting in Jesus Christ's name. Thank you so much. Please remove the last one. Before I come on to my own student, Okay, so I'm saying the thing is, it's following that of everything, we are more we are to strive. Thank you. Ahora, seguimos. Yes, most of correct. Well, the next one, you know, oh, yeah, also time Yeah. Yeah. And it is the law and register. That's how we get expression of value or meaning. As the that I cannot take to my family, but first, to bring my stay it's out. I told the family, three times and the shoulder and to then so as a brother, it felt wrong. The benefit and pushing together. You have to, a few months, so then, as far as it is, so that to come very to issue the what I mentioned as not voice so when this is if I was trying to there's a different intellectual department. Yeah,
This evening we have the principle of honor. Myself, Adil, all of us, this community, also the kids that in the department of service. I know what is I know the critical to make this of our group. Individual cost, and I believe not the last in history. All the children and the family achieving excellence in academics is not small thing. It requires hundreds of hours of study, unwavering focus, and determination of our own challenges. Each of the activities has demonstrated not only academic excellence, but also the qualities of excellence and commitment that will start very well in their future endeavors. I want to congratulate all the awardees for the money number for their outstanding accomplishments. We are proud of all of them and wish them success and great in their academic journeys. Our institution is one at the core of the nation. Because until Babu collaborate on all the production part.
It's a to express to
For my mother, for those that have gone on, for our friends, for our family, for our relatives, for our friends that we've met, people like David Ellis, Rufus Williams, Philip Stewart. We give this to you, Gerald, for people like your father that have lived in this life, but they've gone on. Till we reach that distant shore and we shed a tear no more, may he give you strength to endure till we meet. I don't know when and I don't know where, but I do know that someday, Mama Deb, there's going to come a place that he said that he's going to wipe I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go. For my mother, for those that have gone on, for our friends, for our family, for our relatives, for our friends that we've met, people like David Ellis, Rufus Williams, Philip Stewart. We give this to you, Gerald, for people like your father that have lived in this life, but they've gone on. Till we reach that distant shore and we shed a tear no more, may he give you strength to endure till we meet. I don't know when and I don't know where, but I do know that someday, Mama Deb, there's going to come a place that he said that he's going to wipe I'm ready to go.
I want to appreciate the spirit members of the PSSN for honoring our leaders of all ICT today. The government of the PSSN to organize this event that allows us to stand with the high to advance statistics program as the part of this. Let us try to follow and commitment for statistics as we navigate the future of our discipline for lengthening. Thank you to all for target.
Faculty of Science, University of Ibadan. Faculty of Science, University of Ibadan. We are the leading faculty with wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Encouraging research is a focus for questions, not answers, create knowledge. Oh, scientists, be affirmative, be not discouraged, but be bold. The power beyond will see us through to great heights and successes. Faculty of Science, University of Ibadan. Faculty of Science, University of Ibadan. Oh, science, true knowledge, explanation of natural phenomena. We uphold research, integrity, and ethics. We will not be discouraged, we will make the light shine. Oh, scientists, be affirmative, be not discouraged, but be bold. The power beyond will see us through to great heights and successes.
I don't know about you, but
Ibadan,
Philip Stewart, we give this to you. Gerald, for people like your father that have lived in this life, but they've gone on till we reach that distant shore and we shed a tear no more. May he give you strength to endure. Philip Stewart, till we meet. I don't know when and I don't know where, but I do know that someday, Mama Deb, there's going to come a place that he said that he's going to wipe till we reach that distant shore and we shed a tear no more. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go. And I know that no man knows the hour. And I promise you that if you're not living right, if you're not treating folk right, the Bible says that in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, the Bible says that the dead in Christ are going to get up first, and those that are remaining, we're going to be. His love be with you till we meet her again. May His love be with you until we meet her again. Till we walk those streets of gold, well, we never will grow old. And find rest, oh, find rest from a weary soul until we meet her again. When we get over there, we're gonna meet again. May His love be with you till we meet again. May His love be with you till we meet again. Till we walk the streets of gold, where we never will grow. I'm gonna find rest, I'm gonna find rest for my soul till we meet again. Till we meet again. Till we meet again. May His love be with you till we meet. Thank you. Again. May His love be with you. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Till we meet again. Till we walk those streets of gold. Till we walk those streets of gold. Where we never will go on. Where we never will grow. I'll find rest. I'll find rest for my soul till we meet again. Till we meet. Till we meet again. Till we meet again. Till we meet again. Till we meet
Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this. Signing out. Bye.